Welcome everyone to BoomerWorks. Thanks for joining us this evening. We are very excited to have my very, very dear friend, Angela Heath, join us to talk to us about the ABCs of AI for your small business. She is quite the expert. She's been on the cutting edge of this technology, helping 50 plus professionals in their self-employment journey and particularly using advanced technology. So we are very excited to have Angela here and love to hear all of your pearls of wisdom, Angela. So take it away.
Okay, so let's start by finding out where everybody is. We got a small enough group. How many of you feel like you really understand ChatGPT? You need some advanced training. If that's you, you can raise your digital hand since everybody has their camera off. You really understand AI. You're like advanced level.
I know Diana is, so she should be raising her hand.
How about people who've never used it before? Can you raise your hand? I think we've got probably people in the middle. If you've never used it before, you guys know how to raise your hand, don't you? I'm going to show my screen. Because I like an interactive group, right? We need to talk together. So I'm showing you my screen, and it's going to look a little different down here at the bottom, but you're going to have reactions. You just click there, and you got all of these great reactions. Now, some of you who haven't updated your Zoom, you won't have the fun stuff that I have. If you haven't updated your Zoom, you won't have the animations. But even if you have not updated your Zoom, you will have things like this, where you can send a heart, or if you like what people are talking about, you know, you can celebrate with them, whatever it is. So please use your reactions to let me know how things are going. And then, of course, you can always raise your hand. For your reactions, they only last like a few seconds, they'll go away. But if you raise your hand, then that's going to stay on. It's going to move you to the front of the line, and it'll stay on until you lower your hand. So that's a good way to participate. So once again, now that you have reactions under your belt, how many of you are familiar with AI? Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, give me something. Are you familiar? So Sonia, I'm going to be calling on you since you know so much. And you, Diana, I understand you are an expert.
Oh, Carol too.
Familiar with the basics, that is.
I'm going to have to unmute for that one. Not quite. Familiar with. Yes, Angela, familiar with.
You probably are. You know, we always think we know less than we think. But it's when we start to talk to other people who know even less than what we know, then they say, hey, you're expert. So listen to this. I am a non-techie tech. That's what I call myself. I am not a technologist. I don't know how to code, but when ChatGPT was introduced in November of 22, I found out about it 15 days after it started. And I was just like, oh my goodness. I was so amazed at the power, the creativity, how quickly it can answer questions. I very seldom use a regular search engine anymore because I hate all of the ads. When you use a regular Google search, what you want is going to have to flow down under all of those ads, and that aggravates me. So I don't use it very much. But also, I know that, you know, ChatGPT has its problems, and we're going to talk about some of those problems and how we stay safe using it. But as you all probably know, I'm not going to give like the history of how all of this AI stuff came about, but we know it's not new. AI has been around for years, I mean, for decades. And actually, back in what, 13, no, it's been more than that now, maybe about 17 years ago, I had my first interaction with AI. And it wasn't that I was using it. It was Shira, when my son was sick, they actually used AI Watson. He had leukemia and they needed something else in his treatment plan. They used AI Watson, which is IBM's medical AI, to help save his life. And so they were able to scour all of the medical treatments from around the world and patch some things together. And my son is doing well now. So a lot of times people, especially Christians, are
Oh, that gets a
saying,
reaction.
yeah, well, thank you. Sometimes I forget to say that he's doing well, and people are
Yeah.
like, but no, he's doing well. He's actually 27. Oh my gosh, he's 27. So my introduction to it, I didn't really know anything about AI, but it was way back then. And Amazon has been using it. All of the big guys, they use it for supply chain, they use it for customer service, and they've been using it for decades. Amazon has perfected it. My cousin works there, and they used to call it, they didn't call it AI, they called it digital transformation. But it was automation using technology. So it's been around for a while, but ChatGPT came out November 22, and that's what opened the floodgate for all of us regular people who don't have millions of dollars. So now we can use it. So my question to you is, where are you guys on your journey and with your businesses? Because I want to make sure that this really kind of resonates with where you are. Have people actually launched their businesses? Or are you still trying to figure out maybe what you want to do? Where are you at? You can open up your mics and share.
Okay, well, I'll start. I'm not quite business ready, but I thought it would be a good another level to learn about AI. So I'm kind of a drop-in.
Okay, great. And you can also use AI to find a job, but since we're supposed to be talking about business, what about you, William? Where are you on your business journey? And you are on mute.
Go. Yeah, I've used AI to do research for companies, and I'll put information in, and then I'll put more information in because it's an iterative approach. So I really love it, and I understand apparently there's some other specialized ChatGPT sites as well. I think what ChatGPT for medical purposes. I just was wondering if you were familiar with some of the other versions of ChatGPT.
Well, ChatGPT is owned by OpenAI, and there are lots of tools that build off of it because it was the first large language model that was made available to everyday people. So a lot of developers have built off of it, and they might use the term ChatGPT. They really shouldn't because it's trademarked, but they just build on top of it. And OpenAI, their name even suggests that they want to open this up to everybody, not just people with deep pockets. So they encourage the developers to create things. There is AI for pretty much everything you can think of in life, pretty much everything. But William, are you building out a business now, or are you looking for a job?
Well, I've had my business, but I recently had done some work for the U.S. Army Contracting Command, and unfortunately, I had some medical issues, so I had to resign. Okay. So now I'm using it for opportunities with maybe small to medium-sized government contractors to try to do some research, possibly leverage my experience of how the U.S. Army does contracting to help them. So this is just, you might say, beginning in its infancy.
Okay, okay. Anybody else? Where are you on your track with your businesses? Just getting started? Curious about it? Old pro making tons of money? Where are you? Where are you? Carol or Shamanda? Kayla, Scott, you guys gonna be quiet the whole time? I don't want to listen to me talk the entire evening.
This is Carol. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi. Yeah, I'm actually using AI to help like with my resume writing and job description and LinkedIn profile. So I'm still searching for a job. So that's kind of how I'm using it.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to put in chat a handout, and we're going to follow that handout. And it says AI overview. Oh, it says you can't put it in chat, Angela, because you have it open. Let me close it and I'll put it in chat. And we'll just kind of follow that. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to talk about AI. And since this is a group that has some interest in starting its own, starting your own business, we're going to focus on that. So I just put the handout there. You don't have to worry about downloading it at this point because I will also share it on the screen.
And Angela, Scott put in the chat that he does use it for job search, but he wants to use it to grow his side gig. He wants to promote a tax tax preparation business.
Wonderful. Cool. Very, very cool. I mean, pretty much, like I said, anything that you're interested in, there's probably an AI tool that can help you, support you, make things quicker, easier, faster, for almost anything. And if there is not a tool that already exists, then you can create your own. So let's start with ChatGPT, because that's the granddaddy. That's what everything is being built off of. So let's talk about ChatGPT. So if you look at your handout, I kind of approach, AI with like 4 steps. I don't follow them all now because I've been using it so long, but this is a good way to get what you want out of it. You start with your context. You can say, you're acting like an expert in XYZ.
Angela, sorry to interrupt you. Would you mind expanding your screen just a little bit more? The font's really small.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's
better.
Thank you.
Wonderful. All right, so you give it the context or the persona of, it's just the background information. Now this can look like you dropping something in to the chat, or it can look like you telling it, you're acting as if you're a marketing expert, advising startups. That's what the example is, but you just want to give it context to start out with. Then you give it a command, which is the specific action that you want it to complete. You use conditions to tell it things like you must include, do not include. You expand or limit what you want it to do. And then you can test and refine. So that condition that I was giving you that example, the persona, you're the marketing expert, advising startups. The command, you're going to outline marketing strategy for a new tech product. The conditions, we want you to include in this marketing strategy, social media and influencer marketing with a budget of 10 grand. So you see what you get with that. You might get exactly what you want. You might say, oh, I got to go back to the drawing board. But that's the way I kind of think of AI, just a very basic, when I'm working with ChatGPT, that's the way I sort of approach it. Now, I can embellish this with various things that we're going to be working on today, because many people are using it to create their content. That's what it's probably best known for. content creation. And so I'm going to show you how we can expand some of that. But with that very rudimentary outline of how we deal with ChatGPT, let's go over and look at what it is and how it works. So I'm going to start. You guys didn't give me any input into if I should start at the real basic level or a little higher. So I'm going to start assuming you've never seen ChatGPT before, and I'm going to give you like a quick overview of everything. So this is ChatGPT. Down here, you have your chatbot, chat box. Not your chat bot, that's your chat box. So that's where you're going to be putting input into about whatever it is you want it to do. You're going to follow those 4 steps. You're going to put your responses in there. Here is the place where you decide if you want to do a new chat. Now, here's a rule of thumb. These tools right now can't remember everything. So if you've got a really, really long chat, if you've got a chat that's talking about all kinds of different things, that's not good. It is not going to remember. I used to have a counter on mine that would tell me how many tokens I've used. I took the counter off. I can't remember why, and I never remembered to put it back on. But just keep in mind what you give it up at the top of the chat, the conditions, what you want it to act like, any tone or anything you wanted to use. If you run several different, we call these prompts, it's going to forget as you go along. So you can always go in and say, hey, let's put this in a new chat. So what I try to do is keep the same conversation in one chat. And if I see that it's starting to get a little wonky and not following directions, I may repeat that initial prompt again. Remember, we are talking about you're in this persona, this is the command, these are the conditions. But you may have to just go over and start a new prompt.
Angela, can you explain to everyone what a token is?
So the way these work, they work. How many of you have the free version versus the paid version? You can do almost anything you want almost with the free version, except for you get knocked off more often. But the way it works, they use tokens, which don't really mean much to us, but it's like the way they count the bits of data that you are using. And if you're using the free version, you may use up the bits of data that you get for free, and it'll tell you you've used up a lot of tokens, so you have to wait 3 hours, come back in 3 hours. If you have the paid version, it's only $20 a month. That rarely happens that I get thrown off. It'll happen sometimes. But if there's like millions of people on at the same time, even if you've paid, you might get thrown off. So you don't have to worry so much about tokens, but this is the thing that is most important for you to realize is that you can't have super long chats because it's not going to remember things.
I'm sorry, I'm following the chat here from folks. So Sonia says, so no account is necessary for free?
You have to have an account. You go over to OpenAI .com.
So question, what is it called when you just put the address there in the search bar? Is that considered free also?
All of this is free.
Okay.
All of this is free, but you do have to have an account. So you're going to have to go over, like I can't do it because I already have an account. But if you go search OpenAI ChatGPT, It'll bring you to the place where you sign up. It's an easy sign up. You're just giving your name and your email, and then it'll let you use it. But it's free. You can do most of this for free. So here's when you want to do a new chat. Now you see that this says chat 4.0. This model, this communication model is being improved. And the most expensive model, when I talked about those tokens, is the 4.0. This got introduced a few months ago. So this is more for complex tasks. If you want to do everyday tasks, you can use the mini. The reason you might want to use the mini is it's not going to use up as many tokens. So you can work on it longer before it say, hey, you need to take a break. And then the 4 and 3.5, I don't think they have 3.5 anymore. These are the older versions. But I have a tendency, since I have a paid version, I was like, I'm going to use the best one. So I have a tendency to use 4.0. So those are the models. Over on this side, you see all of these chats I have. I use ChatGPT every day, numerous times a day, with customers, and especially with people who are just starting out in businesses. I'm going to show you a couple tools that you can use to kind of figure out, what do you want to do with all that excellence that you have underneath your belt. But these are called chats. Now, the way you know which one you're in is by, you see how it's kind of highlighting itself just a little bit? So I'm just going to click on one of my older chats. I was doing research on how much one of my customers should charge for a book that's 110 pages. You see it's just slightly highlighted, slightly. And that tells you what chat you're in. So if I go up to a summit and book strategy chat, you see it's slightly highlighted. And it tells you what chat you're in. So they have not been getting rid of the chats. I try to clean mine out, but I got a lot in here. I need to do a better job of cleaning it out. Anyway, so these are your chats, right? So one thing that you really want to know is this is relatively new. I think the GPTs are maybe about 6-8 months old. But these are more advanced tools that you can use. Diana, you had a question or comment?
Yes, thank you. I'm curious as to what your filing mechanism is, and it looks like, and I don't recall that mine has dates like yours does, so I'm always curious as to how I can find things, and a little confused by it as to how to file past chats. What is the filing mechanism that you use so that you can stay organized?
There is none yet. That's
what I
something
thought.
that everybody's complaining about, because look at all of this.
I know.
I try to go back, like when you oh wow, this is when ChatGPT lied to me. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But when you have a chat run, it'll just kind of pick up those first words. So you want to go over to these 3 dots, and then you can rename it something that might be able to spark a memory for you. But right now, there's no way to organize it. And that is one of the complaints. And that is one of the hopes that we have, that they are probably working on it, because a lot of people said, I can't find my chats. So right now, all we can do is give it a name that we can search for. Well, you can't even search, but you can scroll for.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. I want to.
By the way, Angela, before you go on, could you do us a favor? So someone in the chat is actually asking for the Word doc to be uploaded again. Would you mind doing that for us?
Sure.
Thank you.
Just a second, let me get it. Oh, I got it open. I got to close it first. Hold on. This is really weird. It's not letting me close my share screen.
Do you want me to close it for you?
Yeah, can you?
I'll stop your share.
Okay, great, thank you.
Mhm.
Let me close the document because you can't share it when it's open. Okay, I just reshared it.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Okay, let me reopen. All right. So one of the things, let me just finish with the anatomy of ChatGPT, and then we'll go on to tone. Okay. So I was getting ready to go into the GPTs. The GPTs are advanced. You can create your own GPTs. I have some GPTs, but I use another tool to create them. And what these are custom versions of ChatGPT. So you can tell it like the instructions, what knowledge base you wanted to use. You can combine different things for skills. So once you go over to GPTs, you see here are all of these different GPTs that people have created, and they make them available for you. So let's look at, I'm just picking this because it's first. This is a website generator. And you just click on chat. One of the things that I do when I use these, now remember, this is a safety issue. Just because something is available doesn't mean that it's safe. When you're using downloads from the Apple Store, what's the other one? The Android Store, Chrome Store, nobody's regulating this. So we have to trust that the people who are giving away free tools, selling things, that they're not embedding something nefarious in their coding to capture your data. So one of the things that you can do, you look at how many conversations these free GPTs have had. And again, that's not guaranteed. Just because 300,000 people use it doesn't mean that there's not something embedded in it. But usually these IT types, by the time you get 300,000 uses, somebody will say, oh, stop. And then they'll notify one of the stores and say, you know, this thing is just not a good thing. You can also look at the ratings. But this says that it's going to build and host a website. Now, I don't know, maybe there are, because I don't know everything, but maybe there are places where you can host a website for free. Let's see. You start the chat. Now, these are the pre-made ones. And so usually you can say start, or you can click on one of the buttons. So this is build and host your site, create a launch-ready website, brainstorm the pages of your site, generate a website with a sentence. Anybody have a sentence that they want to test this thing out with? So you guys have got to participate, or this is going to be very long and boring. Anybody got a sentence that you want to build a website around? Hello.
Good evening, everyone. This is Kayla. How are you all?
Hey, Kayla, thank you for volunteering.
No problem. So you just want any type of sentence?
Yeah, see, it says right here, let's generate a website with a sentence. So I don't know what you do, but whatever you do, turn it into a sentence and let's see if it builds a website for you.
Okay, so I work in accounting and finance. So let's say I would like to find accounting software that can help improve my payables.
Okay. Now this is going to be for a website. So I'm assuming, I have never used this one before, we'll see, but I'm assuming this is going to be your website. So how about, would this be helpful? How about we tell it to generate a website for me to start accounting, bookkeeping service?
Perfect. Yep, let's go with that one.
All right. Build a website for my accounting and keeping. I love it because you don't have to be accurate. Services, it usually can tell. Let's click on it and see what it does. Okay, they said it's ready. Could you please provide me with the name? And this is my understanding of AI. What I think is going to do, I think it's going to get you to a basic website, and then it's going to sell you, take you over someplace where it sells you hosting. But let's see if I'm right. So what is the name of this business and a short description of the services, Kayla?
Let's call it Kayla's Accounting Services. And for description, we can say we offer tax services, we offer bookkeeping services, we offer reconciliations, we offer your month-end close process.
What is it called?
Month-end close.
Month-end, E-N-D, close?
Yes, ma'am, close. And lastly, we can also say that we offer financial planning and analysis.
Okay, financial planning
And analysis. Mm-hmm.
Let's see what it does. But the GPT is going to keep querying you until it feels like it has enough of the right information, and then it will do what it says it's going to do. Thank you. Give me a moment. This website generator would like to talk to, I don't even know what that is, but I'll go ahead and allow. Claim your website. It's doing the coding. This is what your website looks like. Now let's go over and look at her site.
What's interesting about this, Angela, is that when I'm doing small business coaching for my clients, and I use GoDaddy, and I use GoDaddy's website builder, and it's very similar to this. If you can ask GoDaddy to just do exactly this, and you just type in the name of the company, type in a couple things, and boom, it just shows up with a whole bunch of stuff, unless you want to customize it. But if you wanted something that's just generic, it's probably using similar technology.
Yeah, pretty much all of them do the same thing now. You can put in a couple little sentences here and it'll give you a basic site.
Mm-hmm.
But they want you to pay for hosting. Hosting means it's the address. Mm-hmm. It's like your house sits on a plot of land. That's the way I think about, hosting. You can't have a website without a host site. So let's see if it actually did a full website for you. It's a teaser. I think this B12 people probably have hosting. That's what I'm thinking. Because why are they asking us for the business name again? We already gave it to them. So that's what I'm thinking. Okay, so we don't like that much. That sounds like it's like a clickbait, not in a negative way, but okay. So say, for example, you want to create your own GPT. But these are good to explore. because you can find some really good things here. I got all of this stuff blocking me. Okay. So you're going to create your own GPT, and it's going to help you. It's going to walk you through the whole process. Hey, I can help you build one. You can tell it what you want to build. So somebody else, you're thinking about, it doesn't even matter what it is. If you're thinking about a new business and you need some customer service, or you need some business development, anything, anybody have an idea of something they want to build, it's like you're building an app without any coding experience. Anybody? Hello.
Diana, what about you and your communications work?
You know, I had an idea because I just happened to post something on LinkedIn related to it. But I don't know how it would be monetized. And it's the topic of your brain on travel. Now, if I were a travel person, that would probably be, and I'm not, I mean, that's not my expertise, but there's so many connections that I think are valuable in terms of travel, which I mentioned in the post. I don't know that this quite fits here, but you know, in terms of what travel does for your brain in terms of neuroplasticity, the idea on about the post was that it encouraged people to travel the last couple of weeks of August because of the value of travel. But I'm still grappling with your question as to something
Okay.
that you'd be able to monetize. I'm thinking of something that certainly you want to be able to monetize it.
Let's
Right?
let's ask it to create a travel bot that helps people go on trips to stimulate their minds, to stimulate and clear.
Now, what is a travel bot exactly, Angela?
It's getting ready to tell you right now.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to create something called Mindful Travel Companion. That's the name of your GPT. Feel free to suggest a different name. I'm going to say, I like it.
Uh-huh. Good.
So now, great choice. Now it's getting ready to generate a picture for your GPT. And you can say you like it or you don't like it. It'll generate a different photo for it. Okay, so what about that one? Want to make any changes?
No, perfect.
Okay. What should you emphasize or avoid when giving travel advice? Avoid crowded cities. What else do we want to avoid? Do we want to avoid homelessness?
Crowded airlines.
Well, that's going to be hard because I think most of the airlines are stacking to save money. So that would be tough. So crowded cities, you don't want a lot of fast food areas. You want authentic foods.
What about avoiding cities that have bad weather in the springtime or something like that?
Okay. Good weather in the spring.
Avoiding cities that have a lot of smog.
Avoid air pollution locations. Okay, that's enough for the exercise. All right. It's going to ask us a couple more questions. And it's already creating what this thing would look like over here. This is your preview. Now, how do you want your mindful travel companion to communicate? Should it be friendly, inspirational, or something like that? That's your first option. Or should it be formal and casual? I'm going to say that first one sounds inspirational. Let's say that number one. That's the way it's going to communicate with your people. Is there anything else you'd like to refine? So you get this, right? I'm going to say, no, that's it. So we can finish it up.
Now, that's excellent. Now, in the real life, maybe you can give us an example of how you're using it. How does this become useful with a client?
Well, if somebody wants to create a mindful travel companion, this would be useful because you would have this available, right? And then people would come over to it. You can embed it on your website, embed it wherever you want to. And then people will come over to say, oh, you should go over to Mindful Travel Companion. That's where you're going to be able to get all of your plans for mental rejuvenation. And if that's part of what you offer, you're a travel agent, this distinguishes you from everybody else because this is a tool you have other people don't have. So now you can build a whole brand around this. You can do, pillows and sleepwear and casual wear. And, if you're a travel agent and you're going on the trips with people, you can do hiking and meditation and all of this stuff all works together to build out a brand. So if somebody came over and they said, where do we want to go for a relaxing place? They're going to give us recommendations. Based on what we told the GPT to do over here. So this would be something that you could use. Now, once you get it done, it's going to keep on asking them. It's going to create something like really, really beautiful for them to use. So once you get it done, just say, I'm finished. It'll keep going. Okay. So now let's go over, where's they move the buttons to? The buttons are gone.
Angela, can you add in addition to creating that bot, which was very resourceful, can you add to that, say, security options so that as this is created, ChatGPT is also looking at criteria to make sure that what's created is secure.
When you say secure, what do you mean?
Well, it can't be hacked. There are a lot of different types of security that organizations use when they create, websites or applications, etc.
Well, it's not, you can do, like you can create code with ChatGPT. It'll create actual code like for security and things like that. But for these GPTs, you can't create additional security. Now you can take the code, the iframe for these, and you can put it behind your firewall, on with your business, and whatever security you already have over there is going to be there. But for the GPTs, not unless you're doing something where you're actually, creating code, they don't have like the security stuff built into this.
Oh, okay. Would you create security code, or does it automatically create security code?
No, you have to always request security. Anything you want, you got to ask it for.
Oh, okay. So,
So go ahead, I'm sorry.
so maybe a good rule of thumb is to say when you're doing it, ask the GBT to create security code.
You can. I've never done that, to be honest, William. So I don't know how that would actually work, but you know, we could try it. With your configuration over here, you can change the name, the description. These are the instructions that we gave it, remember? And this is going to be conversation starter. So you can change these, delete some of these. So when people come over to your Mindful Travel bot, it's going to start the conversation with one of these conversation starters. If you want to upload anything, like if you've got your travel agent and you've got, you know, some special places that you want to make sure it includes as recommendations, you can upload files. You can tell it to go over and browse the web, generate, here's code analysis, code interpreter and analysis. So these are things that you can do with GPTs, but it used to have a button right over here, and it's not there anymore, where you can say, go live. I don't know where they put it. And I think if I create, I'm going to go on and create another one. Let me see, I'll go back and see if it's still there. But there used to be, no, my GPTs. Okay, here it is. It's only me, so I don't want to edit the GPT. I want to change who can see it. I'd have to play around with it because it used to be like over here with the 3 dots. So they moved it. But it's here, but I just don't know how to change the settings on it. Because I got the configured, didn't have the settings. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I can find out and tell Shira and then let you guys know. Anyway, you can create your own. So I created like anybody, this is one of mine. I did the Biz GPT. These are tools. So somebody said, well, what's the practical thing about the GPT? So let me show you something that I've done. Somebody was saying, well, okay, well, how do we create these things and earn some revenue from them? So let me show you. Hold on a second. Of course, all of the share stuff is different. I love Zoom. I'm trying to share my.
You can see your Word doc.
No, I'm not trying to do that. I'm
Oh.
going to switch my share. Let me go over the screens. Okay, this is where I want to be. Anyway, it's not doing what I want it to do.
Are
Never
you trying to
does.
share another Word doc or a website?
No, I'm going to share a Word.
Is it helpful? I'll stop your share so you can go find it more easily. Is that okay?
No, I can stop it. It's just they move the buttons around so that it's not going to do what I want to do.
Well, this is interesting.
Okay. So somebody was saying, well, what can you do to earn money? So these same kind of GPTs, these are mine. I created these GPTs and I sell them. So for $49, you get lifetime use to all my AI Biz Generators. And these generators are for business builders and also for people who want to create books. So you can take your brilliance, create GPTs, and you can also sell them. You would be surprised how many people would love to, because they can't think it through.
By the way, Angela, let me just stop you. I'm not sure if you're aware, something's very cool that's happening. You're showing up not just in your regular Zoom screen. You're showing up as if you're
Yeah.
writing. Howard asked, how did you do that?
So you can change your share function. When you share, you can tell it what you want it to look like. I'll show you that in just a minute. Okay, so let me show you guys something that I want you all, I'm gonna, on your handout, you're gonna get a QR code and a link. You can go over to get the side hustle generator. So I have all of these generators to help people get started in business. So with this side hustle generator, each one of them has a video. You can click to schedule meetings with me, but they make it so simple. The generators are so extremely simple. And anybody want to volunteer? What this is going to do is look at your talents, your skills, your areas of expertise, your passions, and who you want to work with. And it's going to give you some cool ideas of different things that you can do. Anybody want to try it?
Kayla, you have your hand up. Not sure if you want to answer this question or you want to wait to answer your question.
Yes, I just had a quick question on something, Angela, you just said. I just wanted to make sure that I was clear on it. So when you were showing the screen and you said that you sell that for the $49, so all of the individual items that you had listed there, those were all basically scripts that you had created within ChatGPT. And then that's all part of the $49 program?
So these were not created in ChatGPT, but they were created in another tool, but they are GPTs.
Okay, and do you customize those for each individual client, or is it just like one bucket of information?
Well, I don't have to customize them for clients. So this one right now that you're looking at, this is a side hustle generator. So all you do is put in the keywords where I say enter your response, and it doesn't matter who says what, it's going to run and generate options for your side hustle. So let me just do one real fast since nobody's volunteering.
Actually, Charmanda and Howard raised their hands. So I'm not sure if those are questions or if you're going to volunteer a thought.
Yeah. Hi, this is Shamanda.
I was
Shamanda.
volunteer
as well.
Okay, so
Okay,
Charmanda
we can do
first.
two. Go ahead, Charmanda. Ladies first.
Thank you. Okay, so let's see. What are
Talents, natural abilities.
Okay. Organization, detail oriented.
Now, is that a natural talent or is that a skill? I'm making a difference between natural abilities versus skills and expertise, which you've been trained to do.
Okay, I would say organization. Okay, give me an example, like conflict resolution. Person said that I am a great conflict resoluter for natural ability.
Well, let's just put some stuff down. What are your skills? What are you trained? What is your degree in? What is your certification? And those are skills.
Okay, accounting and finance. So I have financial statements, APAR, ERPs.
Okay, you know I don't know what any of those initials mean, so say them slower, we can put them in. Are those certifications or something?
Okay, no, ERPs like systems. Okay, accounting software. So you can put accounting software.
Accounting software?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Go ahead.
reconciliation.
Let's keep going because you guys are going to get this and you can play with it yourself. I just want you to see what it can do because we got about 30 minutes left. What are some of your passions? What kind of activities do you enjoy?
Nature. So hiking.
Hiking?
Yes.
What else?
Community services, like food banks. Travel.
Okay. Who do you like to work with?
In terms of personality or person?
Anything that comes to your mind?
Someone that's easy to work with, great communicator.
What about demographics, age?
Oh, I'm open actually. I like a diverse workforce.
Okay.
So
Okay. So what this is going to do when you guys are playing around with it, it is going to take your talents, your natural abilities, your skills, your passions. It's going to take all of you. You can put as many of these things in here, separate them by commas. It is going to go out to see, are there people who have similar kinds of things that you have in your background? And then it is going to come up with some options of how you can mix and match these things. So you can run this a number of times and see what it comes up with. It's going to give you, I think, 5 potential side hustles, all based on what you said. So for you, it says you could be a virtual financial organizer. That's interesting. So you're going to use your talent of organizing your accounting software to help your clients manage their finances efficiently. You're going to organize their financial records and charge a premium for this service. It gives you an idea of how much you can charge and how much you can make per month. So with that, you can make between 500 and 1,000. Conflict resolution, coaching for hikers. That's crazy. Okay, so people who are loving hiking, I guess they're arguing on the trails. I don't know what they're doing, but anyway, that might be something we'll throw out. But it's just trying to combine you together. But you can actually start your hiking adventure groups, your outdoor organizations, and bring people together and make sure everybody's getting along. That's going to be $50 to $100 an hour. Your community bank fundraising consultant, because apparently you know finance, you know money, you can keep up with their money and their budgeting. And as a side business, you can earn a commission of 10 to 20% of the funds that are earned that you help bring in. Travel expense management for small businesses, diversity communication and training for businesses. So it gives you some idea of what you can do with that. Give me your email and I will send this to you. You can put it in chat and just tell me which one you wanted.
all of them look interesting. Oh,
No, I'm going to click it down here. You click down here. This is where you copy it.
okay.
And I'm going to go over and open up my Word so I can drop it in the email, but I need you to just put in chat your email address, and then when I get a chance, I will come back over. Okay, let me see if I can get back to where I hate the way they did this. This is not good. This is not good at all.
And Howard, you have a question?
Howard, did you want to do the side hustle?
Yeah, no, I'd love to volunteer for a moment. I think Cheryl would find what I would propose quite fascinating and relevant.
Okay.
I work for
Okay.
Cheryl. So I actually have a consulting practice, so I'm gonna use that. I'm very curious what it would come up with.
Okay.
And I'm absolutely fascinated with your presentation, Angela. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. I love this stuff.
Oh, it's fascinating. Thank you, Shira, for hosting these events. It's so wonderful you to offer this. So thank you very much.
Okay, what are your natural abilities, Howard?
And I'm going to need a little guidance like Shamanda because it gets a little blurry. In my natural talents, you know, strong communicator, oral written communicator, very analytic.
Okay, I'm going to put that down in skills.
Natural talents and abilities. I mean,
Natural talents would be things like you're an artist, you can dance, you can sing,
well,
things
I mean,
that
I connect people and I'm a relationship builder. I open up doors. I'm very good at opening up doors. You know, initiating new opportunities. I don't know where you put that.
What about other skills you have? What
And my talents, I mean, so I have artistic talents.
what kind?
Well, I mean, multimedia, painting, acrylic, ceramics. I'm trying to, when you say natural abilities,
Let's not make this rocket science. Let's do it very easy because you can play with this as many times as you want to. So let's try to get something in there because we only have about 20 minutes and there's
all
some
right, in
other
terms of my skills, you know, business development, target marketing, lead generation.
You're gonna love this next thing we're doing. Business
Yeah, no,
development, lead gen.
lead generation, email marketing. And did you put target marketing in there? I can't because you're
Okay, I'll put that in there.
well, you spelled it wrong. Target
It's
marketing.
okay, it understands. Okay, passions, activities that you.
Just to humor me, can you spell target?
Okay.
Um,
Passions.
okay, well, a lot. The outdoors, just like Sharmanda, I love the outdoor activities. So I'll just name hiking, biking. I'm a cyclist. Put that in there. And the arts, and also a wide range of music, diverse tastes in music. So those would be my passions I'd put in there.
Okay. Who do you like to work with? How would you
So
describe?
yeah, business owners, stakeholders, decision makers. I mean, you know,
Okay.
yeah.
Let's run it.
Is
See
that
what it.
funny? Right? Okay.
So you have to probably run it a couple times to end up with some stuff that you say, wow, this is me.
Coaching. Okay. Wow.
Okay, so it
Great.
said
Wow.
you can do personalized music experience for businesses. Music enthusiasts, bikers, hikers, revenue potential, 30 to 50,000 a year. Interesting.
Outdoor adventure coaching service.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting, right? That's 40 to
I'm sure
60.
Shira finds this very fascinating since Shira knows me very well.
That's pretty
like
funny, huh?
whole new.
Artistic business development consulting. So it's trying to pick up some of your things that you love, because I always tell people when I built this, I built it because the best business is the one you love and the one the market wants. So I wanted to combine what you love and what the market will pay for. Business development for people who are in the arts. Email marketing masterclass series, targeting small businesses, marketing professional. Wellness retreats for business professionals.
Wow.
I bet all of this is outside your comfort zone, isn't it?
I would say so. I'm sort of like, I'm trying to rationalize how this would work.
Well, you know, you can use AI to now, you know, you run it a few times, play around with some of the words, and then you can use AI to flesh it out. So let's go over to,
No, Angela, when you say use AI to flush it out, how would that work? I don't quite understand.
I'll show you that in just a minute. Give me another moment.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. If it allows me to go back to where I want to go. Okay, now, here's another one of my generators. This is called your ideal reader, but I picked up the wrong one. I want your ideal customer. Let me see if I can pick up the right. Let's see. Because once you kind of know what you want, once you kind of know what you want to do, like for your side hustle or your main hustle or whatever, then you need to find the market for it. You know, you're going to do a little research on your own to try to find the people who want what you are selling. So here it says, detail your ideal customer. Anybody want to run this one? If not, I'm going to run it myself to go fast because I want to answer a couple more questions I see spinning around in your heads. Anybody? Okay. So let's say I am a graphic designer. I'm not, but my ideal customer is going to be, I want to go after the big money people. So I'm going to say large enterprise. What do they call those departments? What do they call where the creative people are? The graphic
marketing departments.
Marketing and
Or
art.
creative services.
Creative services. That's what I was trying to think of. Creative services, decision makers. This is who I want to go after. Input exactly what I'm going to be selling them to this target market. I'm going to sell my graphic design services, and the more specific you can be, the better. I'm going to say I'm a visual arts expert. And what else could I do as a graphic designer to get more charcoal work?
Animation.
Animation, that's a good one. Animation, okay. And I'm looking for people in the DC metro area. That's where I am. Okay. So what this is going to do is going to take this information. It's going to go out there and look for people who are in large enterprises, in creative services, the decision makers, and it's going to bring back to me enough information so that I can find these people. It's creating these avatars. We got 26 different variables in here, giving you 2 avatars. It's going to give you a summary at the end. So this is how you use this. You know what you want to do. Now you know who you're going to target. This is going to show you, you know, it always gives them a name. So it tells you who the avatar is. They're creative director for a large advertising agency. They make, this is the customer, about $120,000 a year. Their strongest desire, they want visually stunning campaigns to captivate their audience. If you know that's what they want, you say, I create visually stunning campaigns to captivate your audience. That's what they want. Their strongest desires, their 5 most urgent goals. So you look at what their goals are, you match their goals to your offers and how you can help them. So they want to increase their company's brand recognition. They want to establish their agency as a leader and create creativity and design. They want to stay ahead of the industry. You look at their pain points, and this is the wording that you're going to use. you know that they have tight budgets. So when you're talking to them, say, you know, I know budgets are tight these days, but I also know that you want to be known as a leader in creativity and graphic design. So you use the words that they are concerned about to get their attention, what they value. You know, these are all clues to how you get these people. Where they get their information. So if they're going to design conferences, where should you go? To design conferences and online forums. Sometimes this will give you an actual names of people who they follow. You should follow those people. We know that they go to Instagram and LinkedIn. Some of the organizations they belong to, you need to belong there. So you see all of this about your ideal target market, you can use, right? So now I'm going to take all of this. I'm just going to do one. I'm going to take this client avatar number 1. I'm copying it. I'm going over to ChatGPT. I'm starting a fresh chat because we're not going to do with the GPTs right now. So I'm going to start a totally fresh chat. And I'm going to say to, ChatGPT, I'm going to say, summarize, because this is too long of a list. Summarize my target audience. Be sure to include their pain points and deepest aspirations. And then I'm going to just drop all of this in. Now, if I would have taken the time, I could have put it on a Word doc or a PDF or something, but it can take it. So I'll just drop it all in because I want a summary of who I'm going to be targeting. But I don't want to have to keep dropping in all of this information. I just want the most important information. So it's updating its memory, and now it's going to give me a little bit less than all of that. This is too much. This is too much. Okay, so stop. Create 3-sentence narrative. I don't need a whole bunch of detail, just enough of that. Okay, so if we go over to, I didn't get a chance to get to this, but you have enough. Tone is really important when you're using AI. You want to use your tone. Some people say, well, Angela, I don't do a lot of writing, but I do want to do some writing, so I don't even have a tone. So you can create an aspirational tone by combining the voices of people that you admire, and then it'll blend it. Make sure you blend it together. That's all on your handout so that you're not mimicking somebody else. That's the worst thing you can do with AI. And in some cases, you could be creating something that's illegal when people are trying to sing a song like Michael Jackson. You'll never want to do that. But if you blend things together, it won't be distinctive of any one person. But from here, let me see, what else was I going to show you? I know it's going to show you about the tones. Oh, the offers. Okay. So this is important. We're talking about how we're going to make some money by using some of this stuff. So I am going over and I'm getting your 6-figure vision. I'm just going over and copying and pasting that. Do you guys still see ChatGPT?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see?
Yep.
You see ChatGPT?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm putting my 6-figure vision in there. It's got spaces. So I want to achieve a 6-figure goal. by using my talents and interests. You know, we've already did that with it. So I'm gonna say, I want to do it with guitar teaching. Oh, I'm trying to say training and teaching at the same time. Teaching, targeting, older men who are retired. Now, because I would be putting in whatever I got out of my customer avatar, I would be putting this in. And what I'm going to be offering, I'm going to be selling guitars and offering lessons online and in person. So then we're going to tell it to break down exactly how we can make 6 figures with this. So you figure out what it is you want to do, then you find out who wants to buy it with your target market. And now let's see how you can combine this stuff to make some money. So it is going to give you a very detailed way you can make money with your side hustle. So let's take a look at this. So your private guitar lessons, it tells you exactly, you're going to do 1 hour, $50 to $75, how much you're going to make per student. And at the end, it's going to tell you annually with just 20 students, you can make $48,000. And then your online lessons, it gives you all the breakdown for this. Now, mind you, this is what parts of this is coming from different places. People are actually doing this already. So you can do it too. So it's going to give you all of the calculation. It's going to tell you about selling your guitars, pre-recorded courses, which is something I didn't even think of. You can pre-record and people will buy it. You can do workshops and retreats. And it's going to tell you, if you do all of that in 1 year, you have the potential of making $440. Now, some people say, oh, that's pie in the sky. No, it's not. I don't know if you guys heard about it, but there was a guy who was all over Instagram. He was an average Joe Blow. I think the guy was about 32. And he went to ChatGPT and he said, this is who I am. This is what I know how to do. But give me a business model that can produce. And he had some income goals. He wanted to get followings on Instagram. Give me a day-by-day detailed explanation of the things I can do. He followed it. He got tens of thousands of followers in 90 days because he followed exactly what ChatGPT told him to do. He said, I only have this amount of money. I think he used $1,000 and it told him how to spend his money. So these are the kinds of things you guys should be thinking about with your businesses, how you can blow your business up by using these tools. Now, is it always going to work exactly the way it lists for everybody? Of course not, because some of you aren't going to even do what it suggests you do. Some of you aren't confident enough in yourself so that when you do start selling, you're so tentative and you're so like, I'm not sure if I can do it, people won't buy. People don't buy from people who aren't confident. Some of you, like I do this one training, people who say they want to become self-employed, they won't even tell their friends and family what they do. That's one of my secret weapons. Tell everybody. Isn't that easy? Tell everybody what you do. And you can do it in ways that you don't sound like a broken record, a used car salesperson, aggravating person that everybody wants to run from. I always say, if you're driving down the street and there's a woman with a flat tire and you own a tire shop, are you going to stop and say, ma'am, I'll sell you this tire? Are you being a horrible person for giving her a tire when she needs it? That's the way you got to think about your skills and your talents. You got to think, yeah, I have something that my customer avatar needs and want. I can help them. I can help them. And so if you have that kind of mindset, then people will say, hey, Kayla can really help me. Hey, Howard can help me. Michael can help me. Scott can they can help me. And they're sharing their gift with me. So with that, we are right at 6:45.
We are. I'm going to share, I'm just going to jump off of what you just said, Angela, because what you said is incredibly true. One of the ways that I encourage people to shift their mindset around this whole idea of, oh, I don't want to impose and I don't want to hard sell. And if you don't share, you're denying somebody the blessing of your gift. And I remember there was a time when I was talking to a client, I shared this story before. I was talking to a client once, and I do a bunch of things. And this one client only knew one of the things that I did. And I'm just talking to him, and he didn't even realize that I did all these other things. And we were just having a casual conversation. I said, "Oh yeah, David." I said, "And yeah, you know, he was talking about some things with recruiting or staffing or something." I said, "Oh yeah, you know, because I'm a recruiter." He says, "You're a what? Wait, what?" Sure. And he almost yelled, I mean, jokingly, but he almost yelled at me. He goes, "Why didn't you tell me that you did blah, 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 blah?" He says, "I could have been working with you this whole time." I mean, really, he was like almost upset that he had to go other places when he enjoyed working with me on this one thing. And I had other things that I didn't want to oversell. And I learned a lesson because it's my gift is not about me. It's never about me, right? If God gave me a gift, it's to be used to help other people with their needs. And if I don't open my mouth and tell people what I do, they can't benefit from it. Angela, they can't benefit from you or for anybody on this call unless we tell people what we do. And we have to do that with heart and humility and confidence.
Yeah. And, you know, since you mentioned the G word, the big man word, I always think of the one parable, and I even tell non-believers this. There's a parable that talks about all the gifts and talents that you have. And for those who said, wow, I'm so grateful to have all of these skills and interests and passion. I can do so many things. Let me go out into the world and let me trade with that. But then there's that other group of people. They've got a whole bunch of gifts and talents and skills and interests, but they're scared. They won't introduce it into the marketplace. Well, what was the end result of that? The people who didn't use, they buried it out of fear. The only way you can get past fear is to do it afraid. I do so many things, and I've done so many things in my life that I didn't know how to do. I didn't know how to create bots. Now I do. I have like book bots that I sell to publishers. You know, when you go to a person who launches a new book and they always say, oh, get two chapters of my book. That is old and boring. Get my newsletter. That is old and boring. Let's use the bot trained on the book. So when you go over, it's got their picture. It says, hey, this is Angela's bot. You can ask it anything about the book. It'll give you an answer and it will sell you the next best thing that you need to be successful. I didn't know how to do that. So it doesn't matter what we don't know how to do, because we should all have a growth mindset to the point where we know we can learn. And if we can't learn to do it, because I can't do everything, then you hire people, you barter with people who can help you.
Bartering is a great thing.
Yourself. Bartering is excellent.
So surround yourself with people who are colleagues who have expertise that you don't, and you start helping each other. It's free, right? You give a little to them, they give a little to you, and rising tides lifts all boats.
Yeah. So anyway, with that,
thank you, Angela. Beautiful, beautiful. We appreciate you. Thank you for your time and for giving us the 101s and the 201s. One day we'll have you come back for the 301s.
How can we get a copy of this recording?
Yes, so I was about to, thank you, Kayla. Yes, so you'll find it. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and share our BoomerWorks.org website and let you know where it's going to be. Give me 1 second to.
Did you want to stop recording?
Actually, I'm going to keep the recording for this just so that everyone knows where people can find. All right, so our boomerworks.org, this is our site. And this is going to be found under our training center tab. And as you can see, we have a number of different sub-tabs here. And I'm going to be putting this one under marketing your business. Actually, I apologize. Nope, I'm going to put it under introduction to, refining your business concept, right? Because this I think is more appropriate for that. And you're going to see down here other videos, right? And this will be beneath that, okay? And you can find us there. And not only that, but just remember that our meetup tab is here. So you can see our upcoming events. Here's today's event. And then below here, I try to book things out about 6 months in advance or so. So you can see we've already booked out till March. And if you found us on Meetup, but you'd like to subscribe to our mailing list, then just go to our join button here and join our community, and you can just fill out a little form. And promise we will not spam you. You'll just get a once a month or two notices about this meeting. Okay. All right, everyone. So thanks very much. Thanks again, Angela. Have a blessed night, everyone. And we look forward to seeing you again for another BoomerWorks event.
Thank you, guys.